It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Forward Motorfest Selection, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, real quick before we get into it, if you're looking for any of my Motorfest tunes, go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest Pro Settings from the top, and there you will find all of my tunes up to date. All right, let's get into it. For the Summit Bundle cars, this week, you're going to get the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Road Force 1 Edition and the Ford Focus RS. One of those is in Street 2, that's the Shelby, and the Focus RS in Street 1. The Ford F-150 Raptor race truck is in Rally Raid, and that will also come in the bundle. You're going to need a few additional vehicles as well. So in addition to that F-150 Raptor race truck, I recommend the F-150 Ghost Recon. If you don't have access to that, just use the regular Raptor race truck, but the Ghost Recon does pretty well on one of these events. I also recommend the Mach-E in Street 1. That one really kills it for this event this week. And then the GT500 Tribute Edition. If you can't get your hands on the GT500 Tribute Edition, it's okay to use the GT500 Road Force 1 Edition. And then for the Feats, this week you're going to need a Proto WR1 boat with Score Breaker and Pure and Skilled. And then you're going to want a Cento Dieci with Score Breaker, Pure and Skilled for the Bullseye. And you're going to need another set with Nitro Chemist, Pure and Extra Pump for the Escape. Now the key to this summit is definitely the dirty driving modifier. This modifier makes it so that you have to crash into things in order to get a full 40,000 point bonus. If you do not get this 40,000 point bonus, consider your run a complete failure. This is super important to your score. The key though is to do all of this dirty driving while also going fast. You have to see things that you can hit and also get a good time. When you combine those two things, you're going to get a very good score. Now, going back to the cars for just a moment, if you're new to Motorfest, I think it's important to note this. This is a no-brainer for people who've been playing a lot, but if you're just trying to jump into the summits for the first time, you need to max out your legend points in a couple of categories. Go to profile, then go to driver, and then head over to legend points and make sure that you've maxed out your skilled affix and your pure and extra pump affixes. Those will help you a lot in these events, particularly the skilled in the feats. All right, here are the pro settings for the cars that I just mentioned. All right, the first event is called Wild Performance, and this is with using the GT500 Tribute Edition. This one is fairly easy. You don't really have to concentrate too much on dirty driving. It kind of stuff is in your way anyways, and you can kind of pick off things that are on the side. But I'll show you everything that I hit. That way you can, see the path here. Let's fast forward to that stuff. All right, the first little group of flags here at 15 or 16%. Just knocked a few of them. And then I cut across the grass here at 20%. Use some NOS in the air. Rejoin the road, and then I hit a few flags on the gutter right here at 25%. Usually I tried to stay in that gutter a little longer than that, but it's not that important. You'll get your points, don't worry. Now if you can, you should probably hit those things on the left. They're an easy target. Don't know why I missed them. Let's fast forward. This corner right here is easier to take in the gutter. This one as well, so you get some more points. And then knock down a couple of those. Stay on the road. Now for this corner, I actually missed the gutter and understeered this, but they did give me a few extra little dirty driving points. Knocked down a few of those. I hit these walls right here. Those ones slow you down quite a bit, so not necessarily recommended, but it definitely worked. And if you notice, it gave me a ton of points because I was going pretty fast. Now there's a big shortcut coming up down here at the end of this hill here. So after this checkpoint, 67-ish%, you're going to cut up the hill. Try to go for this rock that's on the peak here. And just use a lot of NOS in the air to get down. Try your best to keep your speed. Notice I didn't do it perfectly. That could be way more optimized than it was. But even with the poor shortcut, I did a pretty decent time. Now I'm also trying to hit all of these little red or pink barriers here. And I hit a few more on this one. and a few more on this one. Notice I'm getting very close to the 40,000 point bonus. I totally ignored that for some reason, but you can definitely hit those as well. Here's another gutter turn. Here's another one here. Cut across the grass, and you're basically done. I would have easily got the 40,000 had I hit a few more of those things, but I got it anyway. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Adventurous Spirit, and for this one, I recommend the Ghost Recon. It does pretty well. If you don't have it, just use the regular Raptor truck. Should be fine. First key is to knock down every single fence here on the right side. This gets you a ton of points right off the bat. Just stay right on this fence that entire time. You're going to want to swing left over here, grab a couple of flags, and then cut back right on this checkpoint. You also want to go wide right to hit this fence over here. Notice how much dirty driving I already have, 26,000. Stay wide to the right, then cut really close to this rock if you can, and go through these trees. You're gonna have to just find a pathway. That one that I took actually worked out well. Cut the right side of that flag and go up the hill. And then you're gonna cut this one as well. I absolutely missed this turn, but it did give me a few more dirty driving going through some of those fences and the bushes. Try to hit this jump straight on as much as you can, otherwise you're gonna end up down the hill. Again, got a little more dirty driving by breaking through some of that stuff, but it's not a problem on this race, so I wouldn't worry about it. Now, these corners, you're going to have to drift and downshift. They're a little bit tough, but you can do that one a little early. As long as the back of the car hits the checkpoint, you're good. Do your best to try to stay as tight as possible here. You might be tempted to cut across the grass on the left. Don't do it. There's a bridge. You got to go up and over the bridge. Now for this one, I do recommend staying to the left of this ramp and jumping kind of straight, but then in the air, point your car to the right. The reason is because the road goes to the right, and if you jump too far to the right, you're going to land on that hill and it swings you all the way down. So you don't want to do that. Use lots of air NOS on these, man. Rally raid vehicles get tons and tons of air NOS boost, so definitely use NOS in the air here. Now you're going to want to avoid these two trees. Those are very easy to hit. And you're basically home free here. There's only a couple more turns, but you need to get a few more dirty driving things. So stay to the left there. You can hit a few fences. If you keep this wide enough, all you have to do is slow down a little bit, and you can make this turn, and then it's a sharp left. So make sure you drift it like that. Then going through here, it's a slight left, and then you're on the beach. And notice I've already got the 40,000 points. So now it's just how fast can I get to the finish line? And that's it. Let's move on. All right, the next event is called Go Further, and for this one, I recommend using the Ford Focus RS. Actually, I think that's the required vehicle for this one. Anyways, I'll just show you my first lap. I'll show you what we do here. So, stay a little bit wide on the left. Cut in. Get some speed if you can. You're going to want to take this ramp at an angle. And then cut to the right. Here, let me back up. It's not really a cut to the right. It's more of like a turn to the right. But basically what you're aiming for is this line of flags here. So when you land, aim for this line of flags. It's important to have a lot of NOS here, so don't use any NOS until you get here. NOS. NOS again. You're going to do that little hop on both laps. So you want to land on this little bridge here. If not, it's really going to mess you up. So hop. Land on the bridge, hop again, lots of air NOS, and you're good to go. Slow down if you can here. Drifting it is okay. It's not the biggest, not the end of the world. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just stuttering it a lot. Third gear for this turn, even though I took it way too inside. Then NOS and reset when you get the flag. Make sure on this reset, guys. First of all, don't hit this wall. Look at, I hit this wall right here. Don't do that. That was a stupid mistake. But also, when you get here, NOS in the air, reset, and then be pointing left before you hit the gas. Make sure you're turning your car left. NOS in the air here. Downshift to try to take the corner. Again, don't hit the wall. Why am I hitting the walls? Now, this part is really tricky because there's lots of curbs here, and this car wants to drift a lot. Make sure you're in 5th gear. If you're playing on automatic, you're going to be at a significant disadvantage here because you won't be able to control the car. You're just going to have to be off the throttle. But if you're in manual, get into 5th gear and coast through this section. I'm telling you, the car settles down so much in 5th gear. Now, For this section, it's just full blast. Just angle yourself to the right slightly, and then blast your NOS. Keep angling to the right, keep holding right. It's important that you hold right in the air before, like when you land here, hold the steering to the right, hold it to the right more, because you're gonna go wide and hit this wall. It's very, very easy. Reset as soon as you get past this. Then on this side, you're just gonna take this corner. I took it poorly on this lap, but you can take it with a little bit more grip. Jump and NOS again in the air, and you're on to lap 2. All right, the next event is called Built Ford Tough, and this is with the Shelby GT 500 Tribute Edition. It's pretty important to get as many points as you can right off the bat. So as you can see, I'm kind of in the gutter. I want to hit every single pylon or pole that's here. I just stayed along this road. I know it seems weird and it seems like it's taking a lot of your time, but I actually ran a really good time outside of this. I went over here. I was going to try to get some of those on the right, but I couldn't get over there fast enough. Then I wanted to hit all of these. If you hit all of these, this sets you up perfectly. Notice I'm not going very fast. It's okay, because the back half of the course, you can just race and you don't have to worry about anything else. So knock down all of these things if you can. Notice I'm over halfway already to 26,000. By the time I get here, 29,000 already. So this is a guaranteed 40,000 extra points. Now, there is a shortcut here at the next checkpoint. There's a bunch of different ways to take it. The way I took it, I felt like worked out the best, and that is to drift into these 2 trees with the side of the car to make the car shoot to the left like this. That way you get a little bit of knock, you shift down to second, and then you go towards this next checkpoint. Continue through it into the forest again, use this gap here, and then you can go straight towards these bales of hay. You can knock those out of the way. You get dirty driving for that as well, and then you're back on the road. More signs here, cut to the right, and then we go up the hill. Nothing really that fancy here. I'm just knocking down more pylons. Let's fast forward. All right, be careful coming out of this tunnel. Make sure you brake. Notice I already have 40,000 for this one. The race is basically over at this point because there's not any more shortcuts or tricks or anything like that. You just got to make sure you're hitting your gutters. If you don't have 40,000, make sure you knock down a few more of those these little signs or the poles or whatever you need to in order to get it. There's a bunch of them right here at the end, so you should be good to go. All right, let's move on. All right, this next event I really struggled with. It took me a while to sort of, tune the car in to where it fits this track really well. It's a very wacky tune. It's probably not one that I'm going to keep for regular rally raid racing, but anyways, check it out. Hopefully it helps you. It felt like it was the best option for me. Anyways, this one is called Built to Last, and you're just using the regular Ford F-150 Raptor. The key to this one is the lines down this top hill. Mine are not perfect, I'll be honest, but this was my cleanest run. So I'm just going to let you watch this real quick and maybe give you a couple of pointers here, but these lines are going to help you. Notice I'm a little out of control, but it's important. The most important part is this line right here. After this checkpoint, you need to stay to the left and then reset. It's important because you're going to go off the mountain anyway. I would skip this jump and then cut to the right, cut back left. You can skip this jump as well. Grab a couple fences for dirty driving. Stay to the right on this one. I actually flicked the car, didn't mean to. And even though I made these mistakes, still got my best time on this one. And it was a decent time. It's not like it's bad on the leaderboard. It's actually decent. Here, you want to NOS in the air. Get yourself as far over the trees as possible so you can land clean. Cut back left. And notice this is part of where the grand races are. You have this bridge right here, so you guys will recognize this. Important to drift and downshift here so you don't go too far outside that flag. Same thing on this side, just cut it in. Use NOS in the corners so that your car will go, in the direction that you're pointing. Cut this flag hard on the right. All right, go straight. Then curve around these trees here. Get yourself lined up for the jump. I took it a little wonky, but it worked out. Now, I do recommend on this part to cut right at that flag because there's a large fence here that you can knock down. and get the rest of your dirty driving. That's one of the spots where it really makes a lot of sense to do that because you're going straight. And then NOS over this jump. I didn't even use the jump. I just used the hill. And then I would reset this flag as well. And then that's it. Just NOS to the finish line. Hopefully you have 40,000 points. All right, let's move on. All right, the last event is called Bring On Tomorrow. And for this one, I recommend using the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Now, this lap is a little bit strange. There used to be a reset in this, if you remember. And I will be honest with you, I don't think it's faster. Now, what is good is to knock down all these poles, cut left, knock down all these poles, then cut to the right, knock down a few of these, slow down for the corner, make the corner normal, but cut it really tight inside so you can knock down some more of these poles, and then knock down these poles on the inside here. All of that is important because you're gonna basically barely get the 40,000. NOS in the air on both of those jumps. Now you can either drift this or try to slow down and grip it, doesn't matter, but you need to cut wide over here and knock down some of these barriers. Those ones give you a lot of points, so don't miss those at all. More here, more on the right there, more on the left there. Cut to the right after the containers and NOS to the finish. And that's basically your lap. And if you do that every single time, you're definitely going to get the 40,000 points, and you should get a nice, decent time. All right, let's move on. All right, here are my 3 feats in full. Go ahead and enjoy that, and we'll be back with the final scores. All right, here are my final scores. If you have any questions about this, you can send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. All that stuff is linked in the description. All right, thanks for watching. I hope this helps, and I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.